If a man proposes to his girlfriend and she says no, is the relationship over? Depends on the reason. Not necessarily, but it's usually recommended to discuss engagement marriage with your partner rather than just throwing that question on them, especially if you're gonna make a scene and do it in public. That way, if you discuss it, there won't be any unpleasant surprises for you, and it won't make it an uncomfortable scene for them. A little over 35 years ago, my wife told me no and that I was crazy. 3 days later she said yes. Been married over 34 years and have 4 kids. As for most things in life, it depends. Is the cost of a wedding not something you can afford? Absolutely valid. Is the relationship too new and she just wants to be together a little longer before what is basically the ultimate commitment? Absolutely valid. Did she simply get caught by surprise? This happens more than you think. Absolutely valid. The important thing is this couple would need to talk and analyze the reasons, since many of them could be good and not cause to end a relationship. If it turns out she just doesn't see herself with her partner forever, then yeah, it's over. No point in wasting time. Nah, my buddy proposed to his girlfriend and she said no. They eventually did get married a few years later and have been happily married for 15 or so years now with 2 kids. The timing just wasn't right. That's why before I proposed to my wife we went ring shopping and all that jazz. Helps you get a sense of whether you're on the same page. Not necessarily, but it's hard to bounce back from that. Not right now or this isn't the right moment is better than definitely not or peals of laughter. Obviously, that depends on the 2 individuals involved in the relationship. Is it a no to indicate that you feel your relationship has no future? Or is it a not right now to let him know you're not there yet? There's a big difference. In proposing, never ask the question if you don't already know the answer to when it's time. Not necessarily. If you didn't talk about it beforehand, it could be a real shock and she might panic and say no. She might love you and just not be ready for that step. Don't spring marriage on someone without talking about it first. Not necessarily, but it is always important to communicate with one another when it comes to these things. It can just probably be they aren't ready. Yeah, it might suck, but that is better than leading you on and pay for divorce. Yes. Way more information is needed than this. There isn't a black and white answer, and it depends entirely on context as well as the expectations of the 2 people involved. If it's I don't think I'm ready, then a discussion of when and why is in order before the relationship should continue. If the answer is not with you, then yes, it should end there, not necessarily. Are the odds different if it's a guy turning down his girlfriend's proposal? It would be if it was my relationship. Depends if the no is not yet or not ever. It's a big dent in the relationship, most likely.